Back again, Singh, who is amazing as always with her money and human knowledge. And today's topic is insurance. And, we'll have some icebreaker questions, but I hope you're excited because it's been an enlightening topic for myself. I never thought about insurance the way I think now after having interacted with Neha. And without further ado, we're going to kickstart. We'll start with our icebreaker questions. Paul, Neha, and Paul again. And what's coming up next week, we'll share it at the end. Over to you, Steffi.
Thank you, ma'am. So, hi guys. Let us get started. As per usual, we have two icebreaker questions. Would request you all to go on mute, please. As I was saying, please send your answers to the chat box, and remember, no right or wrong answers here. So please feel free. Here's my first question. Do you think an emergency fund serves the same purpose as an insurance policy? I repeat, do you think an emergency fund serves the same purpose as an insurance policy? No. Nope. No. No. Majority is saying no. Good. Okay, well, that is great. I think most people think that it doesn't serve the same purpose. So we're all on the right track. Okay, so next question would be, do you think it is important to purchase an insurance policy for a non-working member of the family? Do you think it is important to purchase an insurance policy for a non-working member of the family? People say yes. Yes, why not? Yes. I thought it was no. Okay. I think this was also taken up in one of our previous sessions, this question, but I think I'll let ma'am clear that. Okay, great. So I think
we did pick this up last time, right? I think in one of our sessions.
Okay. Yes.
So when we're running through the session, I'm going to go over it one more time.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I see a variety. I see two opinions here, but that is good. We have some diversity. Okay, I think we can move on to our poll question, our first poll question. I will be launching it right now. Here it is on your screens. It says, do you think insurance should be viewed as an investment? Okay. Most people say yes. Okay, most people still say yes. 42% says yes. Okay, nice. So I think this session is apt. Today's audience will get a lot of takeaways. 40% still says yes. It's a tie now.
It's a tie. It's a tie.
Yeah, it's a tie now. Okay, guys. Last few seconds. Please vote quickly. Okay, ending the poll now. Yeah. Over to ma'am.
Hi everyone. And as every time, it's always exciting to come and meet all of you. So today's topic is a little controversial. And I thought insurance is such a topic that we hardly talk about it enough, I think. And strangely, it is always around us. We are always being sold insurance through someone or the other. So let's start by understanding what exactly an insurance policy means for us and why, the title says it. Why do I not think this is equal to an investment? So let me just, can I have everyone on mute? Yeah. So let's just try to break this into two parts, right? So investment for us, we need to understand the meaning of investment. Insurance, I'm going to tell you. When I do an investment. The main purpose of that investment is what? Can you tell me in the chat box? What is the main purpose when you think of the word investment? What is it? What is the reason that you're doing an investment? Yes, returns? Returns? I have two answers. What about the others? Why do I do an investment? I'm making an investment to grow my money. Absolutely. Right. I want something back which is more than what I'm putting in. In simple words, good returns, making my money grow. If I think of my money, or if I think of any product which I see as an investment, my end motive from that product is what? Making my money grow, wealth creation, passive income, right? Eventually, it is about accumulating an asset which is growing, right? If that is the definition with which you are approaching insurances, traditionally, we have been sold an insurance with the thought that this is a tax-saving investment. Agree or don't agree? Traditionally, whenever you think of an insurance policy, the traditional thought is this is a tax-saving investment. Okay. Today, we are going to turn this over its head and say, how does one perceive insurance not as an investment and why? Right. Now also agreed, right? It's there in your mind. But before I start, for all the ones who are coming in for the first time, quick introduction of Womanista as well as myself. I'm Neha Singh. I'm the founder of a platform called Womanista, which is focused simply on one dream and vision to make women financially confident and wealthy in the simplest possible way. We have been working to empower and enable women since 2020. It's a COVID baby, more than 7,000, 8,000 plus now counting. Two major things that we currently focus on: learning as well as providing one-on-one consultation and financial planning services exclusively for women. And one of the things over all this work over the last 2 years that we've done that I've noticed, right, and I do this in every session, is that more than 80% of the women who have engaged with us have come from a non-finance background and they have been able to become first-time investors. So if anyone in this room today is carrying that little sound in their head or a little barrier that, hey, listen, I know I can't manage money because maine to finance nahi padhi, ya maths is very complicated and I don't know maths, I'm bad at maths, etc. If you're carrying any of those barriers in your head, I want you to drop them today before we move further in the session. If you're carrying that, please put it in the chat box, drop it, drop it, drop it. Anyone, okay? 20 people. Whoever has that feeling, please drop it in the chat box, okay? So we're going to move forward from here without having any of those barriers in our mind, and we're going to be open to learning about insurance and why it's not equal to an investment today. Okay, so before I even get into insurance, why is this product even created? If you've ever been on a roller coaster, you will realize one thing, that you can enjoy the experience of a roller coaster, whoever here enjoys that, only when you are safely secure in that seat, right? As soon as you have that safety belt on, now suddenly the thrill is way more. Imagine going on that roller coaster without that safety belt. That would just be deadly, right? Similarly, all through, if you notice around you, wherever there is risk, be it going for a drive or be it in any sort of a sport that you play, even running for that matter, if you like to work out, always you are trying to minimize the risk, right? Supposing I was going to do lift heavy weights, I'm going to make sure I'm wearing the right kind of gear, etc. What are we trying to do? We are always trying to minimize risk. That's exactly the purpose of insurance. The purpose of insurance is not to give you high returns. The purpose of insurance is to minimize risk that can arise in your life suddenly unannounced. Okay, so we start with this one very clear thought that I am focusing to minimize risk. What kind of risk are we trying to minimize? What kind of risk do you think we need to minimize? What kind of risk can be there in my life? Tell me in the chat box. What do you think are the risks that we face? Potentially. What kind of risk do we face? Financial risk. Okay. What is financial risk? Like I'm losing my money. What else? Can you think of any risk in your life? Health. What is health? Medical risk. I might have to get admitted. Unexpected condition. Lack of money, where there's an emergency in the family. What kind of, there could be an accident. Absolutely. I could be diagnosed with a very critical illness, which requires a lot of money to be spent. I could lose the bread earner in the family and be left like high and dry. I don't know what to do. I could travel to another location and lose my passport. What do I do now? There could be a theft in my house. Everything is stolen. Theft, absolutely, right. Multiple, I go into get into a car accident. My car is totally damaged, right? So throughout our life, if you just think about it, we are constantly, there is risk. And what we're trying to do is minimize risk. So that's where a product like insurance steps in. What does insurance stand for? It is a policy that you take to protect yourself from a significant loss due to something which is uncertain. Okay. In simple words, a small loss or a small kind of a crisis, I use my emergency fund. A big kind of crisis where my emergency fund will not be sufficient, I lean on an insurance policy. How does insurance work? Okay. In insurance, there are two parties. Somebody who's insured, who's taking the protection, and an insurance company which is giving me the protection. How does this work? To get that protection, I'm constantly paying something which is called a premium. Something bad happened. Against that premium that I've been paying, this insurance company is going to compensate as per the cover, right? So that's the simple words that you will keep hearing: premium, cover. All of this information is a contract between me and the insurance company, which is available to me in something called as a policy document. Now, this is a very important document. If you all haven't ever looked at this earlier, I would suggest after this workshop, please go and have a look at your policy document and make sure you kept it safe and handy, because this has all the possible information that you need. This industry in India is regulated by the IRDAI, the Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India, right? We are going to talk about two major types of insurance: life and general insurance. Okay, every type of insurance can be bucketed into this, every possible insurance. Life insurance is protection in case of loss of somebody whose income you're dependent on. Now, if they're not there, I will require some sort of compensation, because now who's going to provide me the money, right? That is the purpose of life insurance. General insurance, under the umbrella of general insurance, there are very different categories. So one of the ones which we are going to talk about today is your health insurance. Apart from that, there is home insurance, car insurance, travel insurance. All of that comes under the bucket of a general insurance. The first checkpoint, whenever you're speaking to anyone, and if you're confused, what is life insurance or what are they selling you, right? Many times we're speaking to someone and we don't exactly understand wo kahan se baat kar rahe hai, wo kaun hai. So I would suggest always ask for the document. If somebody is selling your product, please tell them to send you a brochure. Whenever you'll get a brochure or a document, right on top, you will be able to read whether you're dealing with a life insurance company. So an ICICI could have a life insurance company, which is a separate business, and the same ICICI has a general insurance business, which is ICICI Lombard. Okay. So if till now you have not observed this, please go and check this, because many times I feel like, there's a confusion. I'm buying a life insurance, but I'm not realizing I'm buying a life insurance. I'm thinking I'm buying a mutual fund, right? So don't do that. Just get the document. Right on top, when you read the name. So HDFC Bank is separate and HDFC Life Insurance is separate, and HDFC General Insurance, which is under the Ergo bucket, is separate, right? First, very important thing to understand. What am I buying? What is this company selling me, right? Once you understand that, let's get into the depth of health insurance. So one of the things which you all must know or realize is that we are a heavily underinsured nation. In fact, I was reading a number which said 62% of our healthcare expenses is something we do from our own pocket as Indians, right? So we are heavily, heavily underinsured. And a big reason and a big issue is that a lot of us, whenever there's a major medical crisis, end up leaning in, dipping into our major chunk of savings because we don't have insurance. A worrying statistic is that 7% of Indians are pushed into poverty every year because of healthcare costs. So it's an urgent matter. If you have been overlooking this, if you are running after making the wisest choice of investments, all of that counts for nothing if you have not covered yourself with health insurance. Does everyone in this room have health insurance? Yes or no in the chat box. Do you all have health insurance? Let's go. Yes, 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 yes. I have 5 yeses. What about the others? Yes, yes. If there is a don't know, that yeah, it might be there, but I don't know. But that also works. That means there's homework to be done. Please go and check. Not personal from the organization. Okay, we'll talk about that also. For the others who haven't answered, if you're not sure or you don't have it, please put this on your before the year ends to do. Super important to have yourself covered with health insurance. If you don't have it, I would like to, in fact, understand at the end of the session what's stopping you, right, from having this. So this is something which is mandatory for everyone, irrespective of age. Purpose of health insurance: against unforeseen health expenses. Few terms which you must know. Sum insured. This is the maximum cover that you have available, which means is the maximum limit of expenses that your insurance policy will cover. Second important thing, health insurance is an annual contract. Okay. Like I like to say, life insurance is like marriage and health insurance is like dating. Okay. You can go and change your policy. I'm like, no, I didn't like you very much, so I would like to change you. That's perfectly possible with a health insurance, but very hard to do with a life insurance, right? So you do have to renew this annually, but now there are options where you can prepay for 2 years or 3 years in advance. Premiums of health insurance, because it's an annual contract, they are not the same, because this is dependent on your age, it's dependent on your physical fitness, it's dependent on any existing illnesses, etc., etc. So as you're getting older, health insurance policy premiums will definitely be going upwards. And finally, the amount of sum insured that you should ideally have would be possibly one dipstick, which I said last time as well. Look at the cost of a heart surgery in your preferred hospital, or if you're someone who's really relatively healthy and fit, a minimum of 10 lakhs of cover, 5 to 10 lakhs of cover should be adequate for you to get started with. A big benefit of having a health insurance policy is that you do get a tax benefit as well under Section 80D on the premium that you're paying, up to 25,000 for a year. Okay, so actual amount capped at 25,000 for the year if you're less than 60 years of age. If you're a senior citizen, then it is up to 50,000 a year. Quick hack on this: if I'm paying for my senior citizen mom, I can claim this tax benefit as well for, in my ITR up to 50,000, right? So that's something that you can use. Let's talk about different types of health insurance. So typically, whenever you're trying to choose health insurance or you're reading about it, you will come across these terms, which should be easy to navigate now. The first one is that there is something called as an indemnity policy, or a simple word for that is it's a compensation-based policy. Whatever is the expense, up to that amount, this policy will pay you back. Okay. And there are certain policies which are called fixed benefit policies. Irrespective of the expense, if the policy is worth, say, 10 lakh rupees and the event occurs, you will get 10 lakh rupees. Does not matter what you're spending, right? So first we need to understand these two types of policies. Under these, here are the categories. So an individual policy is something that is only for me, right? It covers treatment for me as an individual. One of the most popular policy types in India is a family floater, which means it's me, my spouse, my kids, everybody is covered. In fact, there are policies which are covering up to 15 people. One tip to always remember in a family floater is that the premium is dependent on the age of the eldest member who is covered in the family floater, which means if you also have your very old parents covered in this, you will be paying a very nice hefty premium for this family floater policy. It's always better to keep your senior citizen parents policy separate and your policy separate. Okay. Group insurance, one of you mentioned, I have a policy from my company. So that's the group insurance policy. Your company is paying the premium and you're being covered under that. Senior citizen insurance policies, which are specifically for older people above 60 years of age. And finally, there is something called as a top-up plan. Okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about top-up plan in just a minute. Let's understand what are fixed benefit policies. These are personal accidental policies, critical illness policy, and hospital cash. Okay, hospital cash policy. A personal accidental policy basically says that in case one was to get injured or, we unfortunately die in an accident, there would be a fixed amount of compensation that would be given to the nominee, or in case I was injured, then to me, right? A critical illness policy says that as soon as you're diagnosed with a certain critical illness like a heart disease, kidney failure, cancer, all of these, a certain lump sum will again be given to you to kind of sail through. And a hospital cash policy is again a flat daily cash benefit that would be given for all the days that you are admitted. Now let's stop for a second. Now that we know all this, let's try to apply it to our lives. How does this matter to me? I mean, that should be the obvious question. Why? I know this in concept, but how does it matter to me? So this is how you should use this, right? You should think of your insurance, health insurance cover like have you all seen those wedding cakes, like those 3-tier cakes? Anybody who likes cakes watches those videos? So have you seen that? Yes, maybe. They say 1, 2, 3, right? So visualize your health insurance policy like a 3-tier cake. Okay. So right at the bottom is what is called as your base plan. Now, base plan, you can choose amongst any of these, right? Any of these 4. Above that, you can use a top-up plan, okay? Which is like so think of the base plan as like your base vanilla cake. The top-up plan is like the icing on that cake. So that's giving you an extra cover, okay? And on top of that, like the cherry on this cake, is in case it's required, add a fixed benefit plan, or even these options are available as riders. They're like pay a little extra and get this as a rider. Now, who should take these riders? The personal accidental rider is very relevant if you're someone who travels a lot, frequently, especially on 2-wheelers, etc., or your partner is someone who travels a lot. This makes a lot of sense for them. Critical illness, if there's a history of critical illnesses, and as well as the fact that you are the sole bread earner, right? So how you can use critical illness, while all your compensation plans, even these cover for any critical illness, okay? So if you were to be diagnosed with cancer, etc., your family floater would cover that treatment. But if I'm the bread earner, okay, and I'm diagnosed with a critical illness, I possibly can't go back to work. So what does my family again do while I'm getting treated? How does the family kind of now survive? So that's where this critical illness fixed benefit cover comes into play. So the insurance company says, hey, listen, here is your 20 lakhs. And while this person is getting treated, you can probably invest this money and run your daily kharcha, etc. Right? So that's how you should think. If I'm the single bread earner, there's a history of critical illnesses, maybe I want to add a critical illness rider or take a critical illness fixed benefit plan. And finally, hospital cash is relevant if someone in your family is, frequently undergoing treatment, has a long-term kind of treatment plan where they keep getting hospitalized, etc. And now this is like petty cash, right? So there are families which spend a lot of money in just traveling up and down to the hospital to take care of the patient, etc. So the intention of this is basically to cover for that, right? So this is the way that you can beautifully integrate all of these, the way I told you, like remember the cake, right? So it's 3 layers. Having said that, let me explain the concept of a top-up plan. How many of you are aware of a top-up plan? Heard of this? Never heard of this? Tell me in the chat box. Yes, Neha, got it, heard of it. Heard, not aware, never heard. No? Okay. I keep asking this just to know whether you're awake or sleeping, okay? So this is just my check. Okay, not heard. So obviously, you want me to tell you what this is, right? This magical icing on the cake. So a top-up plan is like a very cost-effective solution if I want to increase my coverage, but I don't want to pay a lot of money for it. Okay. And we love not having to pay a lot of money for anything, don't we? So here is how it works. Okay. A top-up plan basically says, so the insurance company says, listen, I'm going to put in the money, but let's share the expense. Okay. Now this sharing part, how much are we sharing, is in a fancy word called a deductible amount. Okay. So if I'm making a transaction for a top-up plan, what the agent or the person selling me will ask me, ma'am, how much should be your deductible? To which, after this session, you will not sound confused, because this basically means how much are you going to be paying up in case a claim arises. So here, how should I think about it? Remember the cake, the base cake, which I said. If I have a base plan, which is already worth 5 lakhs, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to have a deductible of 5 lakhs, because up to 5 lakhs, my base cake, my base plan is going to cover for my expenses. Okay? So I'm going to say, okay, my deductible is 5 lakhs because that much money I can bring to the table. Okay? In case of a claim. Over and above, when I've paid that 5 lakhs, and in case I need to get more, but the claim is higher than that, right? Then the insurance company pays. Is this clear? This is why it's called a top up. They're topping it up. You're paying something and the insurance company will top it up. Okay. What you should buy nowadays, it's called a super top up. Okay. There's a slight technical difference. Do you want to hear the technical difference? बता दूं. Confuse मत हो जाना. ठीक है. अगर एक simple line में चाहिए तो always buy a super top up. But difference itna hai, in a regular top up plan, if it is not a super top up, the claim is considered every time. Basically, in a year, if you have 3 claims, every time they will ask you to pay that 5 lakhs. Okay, which might become a problem, because once you've used that 5 lakhs once, then now how do you pay up that 5 lakhs for the remaining 2 claims, for example, right? So that is the top up plan. When you take a super top up says, if in the year एक बारी भी आपने दे दिया है वो base plan amount deductible, now it is you are eligible to get that top up part, the remaining part. Is this clear? Was this difference clear? Yes, no? Awake, sleeping? Quickly, chat box, active. Yes, Nicola is clear. Awesome. If 3 of you are clear, I feel like okay. Simple. So what do we buy? We will always buy a super top up plan. Okay. All right. Let's look at this with an example. So Aarti has bought a base plan of 5 lakhs. Then she says, okay, 5 lakhs so seems less. Neha said, at least 10-15 lakh to hona hi chahiye, even if you're like young. So, but I don't want to spend a lot of money. So what do? Okay, I'll buy myself a super top-up plan of another 10 lakhs with a deductible of 5 lakhs. Now you can understand this statement. It's not confusing anymore. How does this work for Aarti? So in case in the year Aarti had a claim of less than 5 lakhs, she can quickly go and take the claim. Her base plan is good enough. Okay, her family floater or her individual plan, etc. She can use that. Somehow, unfortunately, the claim is between 5 to 15 lakhs. Then what happens? She'll use her base plan. That becomes a deductible. And whatever is the remaining amount, up to 10 lakhs, which means she has a total cover of 15 lakhs. The up to 10 lakhs will come from the top-up plan. Okay. If now she has a claim which is above 15 lakhs, so 5 base ka use ho gaya, 10 company ne top-up plan se use ho gaya. Whatever is remaining, she has to pay it on her own. Is this clear? Any doubts, questions here? If no, we keep moving forward. Okay. What I've put here, I'm not sure if this is very clear to you. If you look little harder, but basically I've put a comparison of two plans. So there is one plan of Max called Health Reassure. Okay. This is not a recommendation, etc. Just to give you an understanding. If in this plan, which is like a base plan, I take a cover of 1 crore, for example, my 1 year premium is almost 48,629. Now, instead of this, I take another plan, which is 1 crore super saver, again from Max. 5 lakhs is my base plan and 95 lakhs is this health recharge, which is their super top up plan. Okay. Can you see the cost difference? This 1 year premium has come down to 20,226. So I can get that same 1 crore cover at almost half the price, lesser than half the price. Right. So this is why this is a cost-effective way to increase cover economically. Liked it? Yes, no, maybe. Yay, Neha, liked it. Keep me motivated. You liked it? Yes, no, yes. Bolte chalo. Cool. So we're going to go back and we're going to see if we want to increase our cover. We're going to check out a super top-up plan. Okay. Questions to ask before you choose a health insurance plan. Okay, these are 4 things which you can check. A claim settlement ratio. This is one of the most commonly heard terms in insurance, CSR, which it basically means that if this company received 100 claims, how many did it actually settle, right? How many did it actually pay? So if there is a claim settlement ratio which says 96%, what does that simply mean? 100 claims ke against 96 were settled. Okay, so as somebody who's trying to choose an insurance company, what would I prefer? Higher CSR or lower CSR? Higher or lower? I want a higher CSR, right? Higher, right? Simple. So I go for the higher possible CSR. Waiting periods. What a waiting period means is that even though I've taken this policy, not everything will be covered from tomorrow. Okay. So one of the things that you must check is in case there is a pre-existing illness, a lot of policies have a waiting period of 3 to 4 years for that. So for some of the specific diseases as well, right? They would have a waiting period for 1 or 2 years. And also for as soon as you take the cover, okay, if something were to happen in the first 30 days, except for accident, also your waiting period applies. Okay. So these are 3 things you must know. This is why it's said that when you're healthy and fit, please take a policy. Don't try to take it after you've got an illness. It's one of those things, right? Unfortunately, you need it then, but oops, should have taken it earlier, right? So do it when you're healthy. Co-pay clause. This term also you'll keep hearing, reading. What is a co-pay? Co-pay means basically like the top-up. Co-pay means that we both are sharing the expense. Okay. So if a co-pay clause is 20%, it means 20% of any bill or any expense will be paid by me, by the insured, and the remaining 80% will be paid by the company. Now, many times people are not aware of this co-pay clause. Okay. And that's when they start saying, "Arey, health insurance lene ka koi fayda nahi hai. Company to paise deti nahi hai, ye wo. This is not their mistake. They have not been made aware that there is a co-pay clause, right? Typically, senior citizen policies will come with a co-pay clause. 1. Okay. Secondly, if you ever are sitting and comparing policy, you're speaking to 2 people and you're trying to compare policies, and you realize that for a similar kind of cover, and there is no super top up or anything involved, for a similar kind of cover, the price of one policy is significantly lesser than the other, the premium. Please do check. हो सकता है कि शायद the cheaper policy has a co-pay clause. Okay, so don't please compare only on premium. Later you'll be paying 20% every time and then cursing everybody except yourself that, oh no, kya fayda tha? Neha said health insurance low, but so zarur check kar lena co-pay clause. And finally, no claim bonus. This you all should know. Everybody knows what is no claim bonus. Batao. No claim bonus to my favorite cheese. Anywhere it says bonus free. No? Okay. So Yajna, just for you. No? Okay. It's coming. So no claim bonus, as the name suggests, if I'm not taking a claim this year, I'm perfectly healthy, I'm fit. So remember, it's an annual contract, right? I have not put any reimbursement ka bill ki please mera ye ho gaya. Because I've been healthy and fit, most of the policies will give you some extra cover at the same cost. That's called a no claim bonus. Okay. So do check that. If it says that for every no claim year, you are going to get 50% no claim bonus. It means that if you have taken a cover of 10 lakh rupees, what is 50% of 10 lakh? 5 lakhs. Next year for the same price, you will be getting a cover of 15 lakhs. So that 5 lakhs has become, yay, bonus, free of cost. Does that mean when an incentive for me to take a policy when I'm healthier? Yes. Yes. The earlier and healthier I am and I take it, I can max out this no claim bonus. Just take that benefit. A lot of people wait it out till they're like 50. And especially the ones who are leaning on the company cover, right? You're in your company cover. Suddenly now at 45, 50, you're like, boss, abhi mere ko apna cover lena hai. The cost is going to be really high. You've missed out on your waiting periods because now at this age, you're more susceptible to diseases, right? You might get really unwell anytime, but oh, sorry, you're still under waiting period. So we can't cover you for this, we can't cover you for that. Plus, you missed out on no claim bonus. You're taking a claim every year. So the insurance company is not going to give you any benefits, right? So hence, this means, what does this mean? Take health insurance when you are old and unfit. And when you really need it. When should we take health insurance? Super healthy, young. Make that investment, healthy and happy. Don't be conjuice. I have seen people, मतलब 2,000 रुपए का मंथली प्रीमियम देने में भी ऐसे हो जाते हैं कि हे भगवान, like oh no, but 2,000 में ज़ारा में शॉपिंग करने में it's gratification, right? So don't fall for that instant gratification. End में काफी problem हो सकती है. I'm also going to share some top secrets with you, okay? Stuff which maybe you'll possibly not know or hear about from your agents. So the first one, and this is very, very relevant to us as an audience. Maternity cover. Should I take a plan which has a maternity cover? Long story short, not required. Okay. Longer explanation is that generally these are very costly. Secondly, a maternity cover is not something which comes without a waiting period. If your company cover has maternity benefits, very well and good, use that. For your personal cover, I would suggest it's better to use your own savings or whatever plan that you like planned kitty rather than putting a claim for this, because you will lose out on no claim bonus and the amount of the cover is also fairly significantly low. Generally, it's capped at 50,000 or something like that, right? So expensive, has a waiting period. Personally, don't think it's recommended unless you're leaning in on your corporate cover. Dental treatments, laser, LASIK eye surgery, is this covered? Mental health, is this covered? I get a lot of these questions. So in simple words, yes, dental treatment can be covered, but this is a very expensive plan to take. Okay, so unless you're really, like it's really a very expensive thing for you, I wouldn't recommend taking it. LASIK surgery also can be covered, but only in cases that comes with conditions, right? Conditions like it should be considered as a condition, right? It's not a cosmetic surgery. So there has to be a certain power, right, above which it will be considered as covered in your health insurance, right? So check that out. Mental health. So recently IRDA has passed this regulation that all sorts of mental health disorders will be covered by default in your policy. Okay. And there is a list of these disorders also which are covered. So if you are hospitalized or are under treatment through hospitalization, then your policy will cover. All your counseling kind of conversations, therapy sessions, etc., tend to not be covered in your health insurance policy, right? Again, most of these come with certain waiting periods attached, right? So do check on that. Third thing, I have engaged with one company, okay, as my health insurer. Like I said, it's an annual contract. Very happy to change. You can change. And the beauty of this is that today IRDA also allows you to port your policy, which means you don't have to say, okay, bye, you don't have to close this. You can carry the benefits like, see, you've been paying the premium here, so you should ideally get the benefit of that waiting period, right? Because waiting period means that I will cover this particular illness only after 3 years. So 1 साल तो मैंने किसी और के साथ अपने premium दिया है, so I should get that benefit, right? So when you shift the policy or port the policy to another provider, that waiting period of 1 year also shifts, which means that now your waiting period with the new provider will be only 2 years. Okay. Sometimes even the no claim bonuses can get shifted, but that is on case to case basis. You have to check that, right? This porting can be done 45 days before you renew your new policy. So you have to inform your agent or whichever platform you're buying it through, whoever you're thinking to. You have to just inform them what you want to shift, and within 45 days before the renewal, this can be done and you can get ported, provided the new policy is willing to take you on, etc., etc. And one very big secret, if you have paid 8 continuous premiums with a health insurer, right, there is something called as a moratorium clause. IRDA says that after those 8 premiums, the health insurance company loses the right to reject your claim. Okay, unless there is a proven fraud from your end, they will not be able to reject the claim. Okay, of course, under the conditions of whatever co-pay, etc., which is anyway part of the policy. Okay, was this nice? Are these secrets? Did you all know any of this earlier before I told you today? Which is your favorite top secret? I didn't know. Which is your favorite secret? Tell me. Eye opener, hai na? So much there, huh? 4th. Pragati is saying that's her favorite. Which one? Very nice, na? Moratorium, last one. Yeah. Love that, they can't reject. And I can say it in court of law. Okay. There's lots of this, huh? By the way, agar aapko 30 din mein, if you put a claim, 30 din mein company has not come back, they have to pay interest and all that. Aisa sab bhi hai. Okay. So काफी कुछ hai in insurance. It's like a pitara. Porting as well, right? I've seen a lot of people, they just close it and then they just start another policy. And you just lost out on that waiting period, which is so precious after a certain age that, it's valuable, right? Even that no claim bonus is valuable. You've paid money for it, right? So I also think porting is a great, great plus. All right. I'm going to show you guys a quick little demo. We have limited time. I wanted to do more, but would you want to see a quick demo of how one can compare policies? I tend to use this platform called Policy Bazaar. Okay. Caveat up there. I have no affiliation with them. And also that once you will do this exercise, which I'm going to show you, you will be called by a Policy Bazaar agent. I personally use these as learning experiences. It's up to you how you want to use this. If you're really looking, this might be helpful for you. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so no. Sorry, wrong screen shared. Just give me a second. Yeah. All right. Okay, right screen shared now. Yeah, okay. I've logged in already onto my Policy Bazaar account. Okay. And when you log in, it will ask you what policy you want to choose. So I selected health insurance. And then it starts asking me some questions. Who would you like? You can all see the screen, right? You can see the Policy Bazaar screen. You can just put in, okay, I want to take it for myself, my spouse, my daughter, whatever. And you can feed in your information here, age. I'm just randomly putting in some stuff. Okay. So this is where they will get all my information. And then they will call me. It doesn't matter. Now I get to. So why I like this is it's a fairly easy to use platform in terms of helping me compare. Right. So they are going to show you some options, right? And they show across different policies. So there's Care, there's Max Carniva, there's Star Health, Aditya Birla Ka, Active Fit, etc. So what one can easily do is start comparing plans, right? So I'm just going to show you how you can compare. So you just click on these, add to compare. And I want to compare these plans now. So apart from just looking at the premium, you can clearly see, can you all see how the premium is so comparable for a care policy and a star policy, but for Max somehow, can you see it's 2,000 bucks and I get a huge cover? What do you think is happening here? Can anybody guess what's happening? वहां 5-5 लाख मिल रहा है अराउंड सिमिलर अमाउंट में और यहाँ पे 1 करोड़ मिल रहा है 2000 में. Can any guesses? What could be happening? Deductible, yes. There possibly is a super top-up plan somewhere here, right? Okay, so here what I like in these is that apart from this, it gives me a lot of things I can compare. What category of room is covered under this plan? Restoration of cover means, so this is another new feature where it's like a recharge. So if I've used my 7 lakhs, can you see it says 7 lakhs unlimited times, which means you can keep using 7 lakhs, it'll keep plugging in 7 lakhs back. It's like a recharge, auto recharge facility. That's called restoration, right? So here Max says 10 lakhs unlimited times. Star says 5 lakhs once in a year. So which wins? You can just start doing the comparison, right? They've also helped you. They've written which is best on which feature. No claim bonus. It's doing the calculation and telling you how much is best, right? So it says this is the best. Free health checkup is included or not. Here is your claim settlement ratio. So you know that this is the highest. Number of hospitals that it covers in my city, very relevant for me. You can also go and view a list which tells me if it suits, you know, is my preferred hospital covered here. Here you see this copay. Now you all can understand what copay means. No, full claim is paid by insurer. There is no copay in any of them. And so on and so forth. I've not covered all the features with you. There's a lot more. Waiting periods, existing illness, you can see here, all of that, right? So very, very easy to compare. In another 20 minutes, somebody from there will call me up. I can, if I'm too lazy to read all this, I can just ask them these questions. Just keep scrolling on the left side, keep asking them about this. And this will be possibly a great way for you to shortlist what kind of a plan would you like to choose. Helps? Yeah? Cool. If you're someone who wants to read more, know more, go and check out the IRDAI website. There's a lot of learning material, information, details. You can ask the insurance company to send their brochures, etc. to you. All of that information is also available on IRDA website. I'm going to pause for any questions. Sorry, ladies, we've already hit time and I have one whole section going.
Well, we will continue in the future sessions, dear Neha. Always very energizing.
So should can I take questions meanwhile?
Yeah,
unfortunately, we'll probably have to do another session for life insurance because we're already short on time, right?
Definitely. After 7 years also only premium keep increasing, but company didn't seem to add no claim bonus. Feel cheated. Molama. You have any question for Neha?
Yeah, that tends to happen, you know, because we don't know exactly what benefits are due to us while we're buying the policy. So if you were to exactly what we're trying to solve for, when buying the policy only, when you can see that there is a no claim bonus, right? At that time only you can ask them, what is the NCB? What is the no claim bonus? And then I'm also telling you one very secret thing. When you use these words, super top up, bata do, NCB de do, what is the restoration? The agent understands that you're an educated customer. Now the agent will not mess around with you. Okay. As soon as you are also portraying yourselves as a smart customer, even if you understand little bit, you don't have to understand all of it. But I have observed the advice gets significantly better as soon as you portray that you are smart and you understand this. So don't fool me, right? You agree? Has it ever happened to you? It happens to us in everything, no? When we go to buy kapde also, if we know fabric and we touch and show it, I understand a lot of that the person is impressed. They're like, "Ha, isko acha saman hi bech sakte hain," right? All right.
Then there's another question. Do you advise any particular policy for senior citizens with pre-existing diseases? From Sunita Simon.
I would not advise any specific policy, but I would want you to do this activity which I just showed you. Because let me just tell you, pre-existing illnesses, it's a big issue to get a cover. And even the ones I understand, you can pick any policy, but the problem which will happen is that many of them might not even take you on. If they do take you on, there might still be a waiting period you'll have to overcome. So it kind of unfortunately doesn't serve the purpose as much. But you can try to figure out. Sometimes they're giving you options to buy it out also, the waiting period. So you pay extra premium, and then instead of 4 years, you will wait for 1 year, like something like that, right? So, but it's definitely not easy to get a policy once you have a pre-existing illness. We all not able to see the shared screen?
No, we were.
Okay.
Then there's another question from Pragati Tiwari. Should you take a separate plan if my company is already covering on it?
Okay, so Pragati, this would depend on few things. It depends on your age and your fitness level. So here is my take on this. If you're like less than 25 and you're perfectly healthy and fit, and then you might want to not take it. I personally recommend that as soon as you're 25 plus, at least spend that little bit. It's like that. It's literally going to cost you at that age, if you're fit and everything, it'll cost you a few hundreds per month, right? So it's worth your time to go. It's worth your money to go and take that separate plan, because tomorrow you may not have, be employed with this company, and you might have a situation where you need that cover. And many times I've also noticed the company cover is not that sufficient. It might be a very, very small cover that you have actually if you go through your company policy. So always recommend having your own little cover.
Okay, great. Let's see. Any final questions? And as you can see on the screen, take the opportunity, reach out to Team Luminista for your one-to-one consultation if you need them.
Yes. I've also, Simran, I've put on an activity for everyone who comes into our sessions. I think we should start trying to give them some
review all
homework.
insurance. Yeah, review all insurance policies, keep all insurances in one place. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So thank you.
I've also added this little template, this downloadable template on our website under free resources. It's called an insurance tracker. It's free. It's basically built with, it's a Excel sheet, which is your structure where you can just feed and keep an audit of all your insurances in one place. And if you want to share it with your loved ones, you can share it with them as well.
Fantastic. We always love these giveaways. So team ladies, go to the Womanista site, download this template. Yajna, great. She has an action. She's going to go and look through all her insurance papers after this insightful session.
Yes, I love that.
Email you have from the Minister team. It's direct Neha's email. It's not even a contact at Minister.
No, just write to me.
I don't think you can ask for anything better. So thanks for asking that question, Pragati. And we have the last 2 minutes left. So a couple of things here. In addition to saying a huge thank you to Neha, she is not going anywhere. She is going to be with us in 2023 as well. For next week, we will not reveal the session yet, but what we can tell you, it's December 28th, 6 to 7 p.m. So if you could mark your calendars and follow the social channels for the slow reveals that will start happening over the weekend. It's going to be a great one. We're going to wrap up a lot of things and talk some very important topics with multiple leaders in the financial literacy, inclusion, equity industry. So thank you again for everybody joining, and we look forward to seeing you next week again, December 28th, 6 to 7 p.m. IST. And thank you again, Team Womanista, Neha, and Womanista Team Rachna Shilpa on the call with us today.
Simran, sorry to interrupt. Can we launch the poll too,
Yes.
please?
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, Vidya.
No
Let's
problem.
do the poll before we close out.
Steffi, would you want to launch the poll?
Ma'am, you'll have to make this account co-host.
One
I don't know
minute.
the
I'm
right-
launching the poll.
Okay.
Okay, the question is, do you think this session has helped you with a better understanding of the various insurance policies and how to rationally evaluate them? I'm sure most of us will have yes as an answer. Bring it in, people. We'll wait for a couple of more seconds for more people to give in their responses. Yes. So 54% of people have said, yes, I have clarity and feel confident. And 46% of them have said partially, new things are brought to my attention. Thank you so much, Reha.
Very important part you missed, Vidya. No, I'm still uncertain is 0%.
Yeah, yes.
We've made
yes.
progress today.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
And as Steffi says, saal abhi khatam nahi hua hai.
Yes.
So there is still a whole week to go, and there's more coming. And soon we'll also reveal our plans for 2023. But for now, we bid you a goodbye and thank you again for joining. We will see each other in a week's time again.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you, Neha. Thanks,
Take
team.
care.
Bye.